Right, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, well, can you all hear me? Yeah. Bad luck. I'd like to say thank you to you. It's been said before, but you are the 40,000 people's army that got 4 million people to tell an out-of-touch, old Etonian government, we want a say. You went out in the rain and the wind and the sleet and the snow and got 17.4 million people to say we are a celebrity. Get us out. Well done, you lot. Right, and you did prove the point, as Churchill said. It is the people that control the government, not the government that control the people. Right, you have the right to ask, as Nigel famously asked of Herr von Rompuy, who are you? Well, I would aspire to the appearance of a low-grade bank clerk. I was born scruffy. I am honoured to be your National Party spokes for small business. Small business, ladies and gentlemen, which is 99% of the businesses registered in this country. Small business, 5.5 million of us. 15.5 million people working within it. 95% of them have no truck with the EU, but 100% are manacled by its rules, its diktats, its directives. I believe firmly that small business, which is HMRC's cash cow, is going to have its voice heard. He who pays the piper calls the tune. I got this in the Daily Mail, so it must be true. I wrote when I got this appointment because Paul Nuttall, I campaigned for Paul on a basis of unity, and when I saw how you greeted him and applauded him, I don't know about him, but I had a tear in my eye. To bring together such the broadest political church as he has done is just amazing. And again, thanks, guys. I wrote to the Minister for Small Business, Margot James, and I said, in the spirit of collegiate politics, I'm the spokesman for UKIP. I'd like to sit down, have a chat, see what the future is, what's the roadmap, what's going on. One of her assistants wrote back, said she was a bit busy. I now know what she was up to. Business rates that are going to cripple small businesses. But apparently Sports Direct and Amazon will do okay. Nice one. I am passionate about our high street. Do you want to keep our high street or not? Do you? We can learn from our European cousins what they do. You look above a high street, as John Betterman once said, you'll see the history of the town. Look above the shops, and you'll see dusty old cobwebby rooms. You are allowed in law, you don't even have to apply for planning permission, to live above and behind your shops. I want to repopulate our high streets with people who live there, and funnily enough, will probably shop there as well. Well, if there's any left, of course. I am the only spokesperson for small business who knows full well where we have been, who knows full well where we are, and who has a vision for where we are going. All the others, the Labour spokes, Lib Dem, SNP, the Minister, were all Remainers stroke Romaniacs. They don't know where we are. They still can't take it in, actually, can they? And they don't have a clue where we're going. There are many initiatives I want to launch based on our incredible 2015 manifesto, which was the only one that was ever been costed and not written by Hans Christian Andersen, as most of them seem to be. I want to launch initiatives. They're a huge untapped resource, ladies and gentlemen, that small business needs to tap into. And a little bit about me. I went to a grammar school, age 14, a wonderful lady called Dame Shirley Williams abolished them, yeah? She went to America in the war, came back, sent her kids to St Paul's and Eton, and did away with the grammar schools that gave kids like me with no money an opportunity. It introduced me to socialism, redistribution of wealth and knowledge. You've got yours, I got mine, you redistribute yours, I'll have a bit more. I then went, my father got me a job in the City of London. I mention this, do not worry about the City of London. It will always be there, despite the EU's horrendous efforts to undermine it over the past 5 or 10 years and lure people to the sparkling lights of Frankfurt, Maastricht, Strasbourg on a Tuesday. I think they work in Strasbourg. One, it is in the world time zone 0, Greenwich Mean Time. We are America's gateway to Europe, and as Europe are just beginning to realise, Europe's gateway to America. 2, English. It is the language of business. And 3, the social life. People want to be in London. They want to be there. They want to pay our high taxes, which is odd, but they want to be in London. It is the place to be. And you only recently, on Wednesday, had the head of the largest French hedge fund saying, actually, London ain't going nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a large untapped resource, which I intend to attempt to engage with. Women. Over 50% of the workforce are disadvantaged in the workplace. There is no doubt about it. I myself employ 100 people, and I know these things. The mature workforce who brings so much to the party. They bring the one thing you can't buy or train. They bring experience. And they are being disadvantaged because of well-meaning EU social legislation that's brought about because they have no concept of Newton's first law of politics. For each and every action, there's a right ruddy violent reaction. Our veterans, I employ about 5, it transpires. Our veterans are treated appallingly. There was a wonderful thing on the radio this morning. 90 years ago, the BBC raised £26.18 and sixpence halfpenny for homeless First World War veterans. Haven't we come a long way? The other thing I want to try and achieve with small business is, as I said, to get our voice heard. The EU was the lobbyists' heaven. Big business banks' heaven. Well, I haven't got time to go lobbying. I haven't got time to buy them lunches. I haven't got time to trawl through reams of paperwork to try and find an EU grant which gives me back a bit of my money I gave them in the first place. That is why when we leave the EU, it will be Independence Day. The 23rd was the start. I don't understand why we just can't give them our notice. I don't understand, but I suppose the politicians and the Sir Humphreys have to have something to do, don't they? When small business in this country will meet the challenges, the housing crisis which we've had touched upon, and you, gentlemen of the press at the back, I will tell you where to go and stick your telephoto lens. Go... It's all right, Paul, don't panic. Go to Weston-super-Mare. The last time we had a housing crisis like this was in 1945, albeit that wasn't totally self-inflicted. And we brought about a system of housing that gave quick, efficient, sustainable, clean housing, the prefabs. Do you remember them? In Weston-super-Mare, they have park housing, they have modular homes, and you go on these estates, they are incredibly intense, but the feeling of space. They are incredibly well cared for. You have the elderly living with single mums, with families, with single people, with couples, with everybody. They are real mini micro communities. I met a guy in the services, and Martin, if you watch this on telly, you'll know who you are. We can build these modular units in this country using British labour, in British factories, with British innovation, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, it's quite funny because I have built some houses in my time, and the last one I really insulated, and I used to say laughingly, 2 burps and it's hot. This guy said to me, this system is German, it's called a passive house, and it uses body heat. Light bulbs, as Julia said, it uses every scrap of heat that is generated. They are made, the insulation is made from 98% air, 2% waste oil products. Well, and if they go to Westminster, they can get the air preheated free of charge. Ladies and gentlemen, I can see Paul sitting there twitching now, so I'm going to say just thank you very much. Thank you very much for all your efforts and putting up with me. Thanks, guys.